Hello everyone, and welcome to Noodle Journey, your destination for detailed and informative reviews of the instant noodle universe. And today I've got something hot off the presses. This is brand new, just out from Samyang, Buldak Tom Yum. Before we get started, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these reviews. At the end of the last video, I mentioned that I had something possibly exclusive coming up. It's not actually this. That thing that may or may not be exclusive is coming in the next video, hopefully. But this just came out, and I wanted to review it as quickly as possible, and so here it is. Although I guess since we're talking about exclusivity, today is January 29th that I'm filming this on, and I don't think anybody else on YouTube has reviewed this yet, so I may be the first. There's a couple of TikTok, Instagram people that have already gotten their hands on this, but I might be the first one doing an actual long-form review, so hey, cool. And if not, hey, also cool. The more the merrier, reviewing noodles, right? I'm really excited to have this because this flavor just launched in the US. There are new Buldak flavors that pop up every few months in other countries that I still can't get my hands on for a reasonable price. Like Australia has Buldak yakisoba, and South Korea has Buldak basil cream udon. But this Tom Yum was actually announced as being exclusive to US markets for the time being. So thankfully no importing needed for this product for me. If you're interested in buying this, check out my unboxing video from ramenmall.com, which is where I got this. As of the time of filming today, they're the only online retailer I could find that stocks these. And this will, of course, start showing up in other online stores and Asian grocery stores throughout the US in the coming months. That's how Buldak works. But none of the stores near me have this yet, and believe me, I went on a pretty massive search expedition before I ordered this online. This is $11.99 at ramenmall.com for a 5-pack currently, and it has been going in and out of stock like crazy, so keep checking Ramen Mall and your other usual noodle spots if you're in the US, and you'll find this one way or the other. And I'll try to keep the links in the video description up to date for when this starts popping up at other sites. So are you already familiar with what Tom Yum is? If not, real quick, it's basically a Thai hot and sour soup with herbs like you see pictured on the front here. I think this is supposed to be lemongrass, ginger or galangal, lime or lime leaves, or both, chili peppers, and sometimes cilantro. And often you'll see it with shrimp, chicken, or pork as the protein if you have a local Thai takeout place that sells it. Now, I really like Tom Yum when I get it, and so far on this channel I've reviewed Ramen Talk's version of Tom Yum, which was excellent. The brand Mama also sells a very popular Tom Yum instant noodle that I'm going to review someday. But this appears to be the first venture into this kind of soup for Samyang, which is a South Korean company. And of course, since it's Buldak, take all of those flavors that I just mentioned and remember that it's going to be really amped up on spice. Okay, so now that we're up to speed on what this is, let's check out the sodium and the ingredients. The sodium count here is 1,890 milligrams, or 82% of your daily allowance. It is definitely on the high end, but not at all surprising based on other Samyang products I've reviewed. All right, inside the pack, we've got the flat Buldak style noodles like you see in carbonara and stew. These are usually awesome. We've got a sauce packet with your typical Buldak ingredients like sugar, MSG, artificial chicken flavor, garlic, and soy sauce. So this is going to give it that sweet, spicy, umami Buldak kick that you may already know and love. There's a powder packet containing all of the additional Tom Yum seasoning, like yeast extract, soy protein, anchovies, lime, vinegar, dried shrimp, tuna, coconut, and surprisingly kimchi. I don't know if I've ever seen kimchi in Tom Yum before, but the flavors are kind of adjacent, so I get it. And then this flake packet contains bok choy, cabbage, and carrot. Now, I'm dying to get into this, so it's time to go cook. All right, so what the instructions tell you to do is cook the flakes, noodles, and sauce in 500 milliliters of water for 5 minutes, then add the Tom Yum powder at the end. So I'm showing you that part now. This, as it is basically Buldak stew type. Like, I legitimately think this is the stew recipe with just an added powder packet, which is not a bad thing. The stew type is excellent. So let's see what this does to this. Strong lime and lemongrass smell out of here. Really like that. And let's stir this up. Alright, so now that it's all stirred up, it really doesn't look that different, except for a couple of minor things. There's some little red, I assume, chili flakes that were not here before. Very tiny, you might be able to see them coated on the noodles there. And also bits of something green, which I'm going to guess is probably cilantro. But all dried up like that, I don't think it's going to bother me. It's usually only fresh cilantro that triggers that gene, so I'm not even going to talk about it anymore and hope for the best. What that powder also did is turn this from the basic Buldak stew aroma into what is a very citrusy Tom Yum aroma. That one little powder packet transformed this completely. Smells really good. Smells like takeout Tom Yum, if I'm being honest. Let's give this a try. All right, let's start the review with the noodles. I love these flat type noodles from Samyang. I think these are just a little bit better than the rounder stir-fried noodles that they use in a lot of the other flavors. For me personally, these are some of my favorite Korean noodles. Something just about the shape, it gives them that little extra chewiness and real estate when you're eating it. I love it. 9 out of 10 for the noodles. So let's talk about the spice score. This is a Buldak product. It is not mild by any stretch of the imagination. It's not as hot as the basic hot chicken stir fry is, but that's not to say it's tame either. So for reference for my spice scale, the basic black package Buldak stir fry was an 8 out of 10 for me. Buldak stew was a 6 out of 10 for me. And I think that extra Tom Yum powder packet put this somewhere north of the spice level of the stew, but still below the basic hot chicken flavor. I think this is about a 6.5 out of 10 on the spice scale for me. It's still pretty strong. There is an oiliness that's keeping it on my lips, but it's not as unbearably hot as some of the other Buldak varieties. And so let's get to the overall score of this. Check out the consistency of the broth. Nice oily layer on top, pretty thick red base underneath. Really appealing, really nice presentation. The flavor of the broth is a pretty strong departure from any of the other Buldak flavors. Yes, it's still got that sweet, salty, umami thing going on. The smokiness is not quite there that I usually expect from Buldak, because really the flavors that are coming out at the forefront are the citrus flavors. Lemongrass, lime, ginger, that sort of thing. It is a really good combination if you like citrus. Now, the one thing I will say about it is it does have a slight artificial citrus bend to it. Like, you know, when you get chips that have the lime powder on them, the little green lime flakes. Yeah, that's not like 100% real dehydrated lime. There's other stuff going on in there. That's kind of the vibe I get from this. But that's not to say I don't like it. I think it's really good. The little green specks are definitely cilantro. They're not listed individually on the package. I assume they fall under spices as a catch-all. So if you don't like cilantro, like really don't like cilantro, don't buy this. This will bother you. Oh, and I should mention that despite the fact that there is a lot of fish and coconut listed in the ingredients, I'm not really getting a lot of either. The fish is just probably here for some background umami. It doesn't really have a fishy quality at all. And there's nothing coconutty about this. So again, it's one of those things that's giving it a vaguely Thai flavor without really overpowering the main focus of the recipe, if that makes sense. So we've got a robust spicy broth with a nice sour punch to it, and unfortunately the flake packet is where this falls short for me. These tiny little pieces of carrot and cabbage and bok choy don't have a lot of flavor. They're a little bit mushy. They're not really doing anything for this. Of course, I'm going to put some of my own stuff in this afterwards, but it's a little disappointing that Samyang still kind of thinks of their dried flake packets as an afterthought here. Because this could have been really interesting, and instead it's very generic and boring. But that's not going to impact the overall score very much, because I think that's the only thing I really don't like about this. Everything else is spot on. The spice is nice. The actual sour Tom Yum flavor is really good. Yeah, I'm going to be happy to work my way through this 5-pack. This is a 9 out of 10 for me. It's a really nice flavor, and it's a pretty interesting departure from the other Buldak varieties. Alright, good times. I love reviewing new Buldak flavors. This one's a winner in my book. If you're already a fan of Tom Yum and super spicy food, and you want to try the two together, give this a try when you find it. It's really good. If you've never had Tom Yum before, but you're a fan of super spicy food, here's a really good way to see if you like it. And if you like neither Tom Yum nor spicy food, of course, don't buy this. It's a super strong hot and sour flavor that I find incredibly appealing, and the noodles, as always, are dynamite. So I think all you spice heads are going to want to check this out at least once. Alright, that's it for Samyang, Buldak, Tom Yum. I'm going to go throw some leftover chicken in this and eat it for my lunch. As always, I will keep a lookout for other new Buldak flavors, including those elusive ones that I'm going to have to import from Australia and South Korea. So look out for those, hopefully someday, eventually. And I will have that other really cool product review coming out in the next video after this, hopefully. So please tune in for that. I hope to see you on the next episode of Noodle Journey.